We're going to talk about the 6 ways your Social Security benefits can increase. How do I know? My name is Ed Weir. I ran the third busiest Social Security office in the country, and I've helped millions of people with all things Social Security, retirement, survivor benefits, spouse benefits, disability, all the rest of it. This is also a live Q&A because one thing about the Social Security Administration, 20,000 pages of policy, there's exceptions to the exceptions to the exceptions. So anytime you see anything out there on internet and social media, so-called Social Security experts, they're saying this, that, the other, is usually exception to those. A lot of people lose money because they don't know about the exception. So if you have any questions, make sure you subscribe if you're watching this later. If you're watching this now live, go ahead and put your questions in the chat and I'll get to as many as possible. Today's topic, the 6 ways your benefits can increase, should take about 10 or 15 minutes. And then for the remaining 50 minutes, I will answer all your questions, any questions you have on Medicare, Medicaid, retirement benefits, all that kind of good stuff. All right, let's stop stalling and get right into it. So the number one way your benefits can increase, unfortunately, it's terrible for 2025, is COLA, the cost of living allowance. That is, it's not a political thing. It was taken out of the political sphere in the early 1970s, and it's just basically based on a basket of goods and done by the Department of Labor Statistics. One thing that is political is how they chose to calculate that. It's based on the Consumer Price Index for workers, younger workers, clerical workers. It should be based on the CPI for elderly people because healthcare, there's a lot more healthcare costs when you get, anyway. So what we need to do is, this is a call to action as well, reach out to your politicians, and there's a lot of political leaders that want to switch it from the CPIW to the CPIE. What does that mean to you? That means your check, if they would have had it as the CPIE for elderly people, so it looks at a basket of goods for elderly people rather than a bunch of young people, then your check would probably be about another 10 or 20% more than what it is right now, because the CPEE is about 2% more every year. So next year, yours would have been 4.5. This year would have been 5.5. Last year would have been over 11%. So over 10 or 20 years, that actually equals some money in your pocket. So please reach out to your politicians and tell them you want that to be switched. All right, another way you can get your benefits increased is your high 35 years. So that's how Social Security calculates your benefits in terms of retirements, survivor benefits, spouse benefits, and mostly disability benefits, is based on your high 35 years of earnings. A lot of people think it's the last 3 or last 5 or whatever the case may be. No, it's the high 35 years of earnings. If you worked 40 years, they take the high 35 out of there. They calculate it. It's called the average index monthly earnings, and they multiply it by these bin points, 90%, 32%, 15%, the sausage is made anyway. And that's how they determine your benefit amount. So your high 35 years, if you go back to work, if you're 80 years old and you go back to work and that's one of your high 35 years, Social Security automatically recalculate your benefits. And if it is one of your high 35 years, they throw out the low one, add in the high one, and the recalculated benefits. That's 100% automatic. You don't have to do anything other than file your taxes with your friends at the IRS. Friends at the IRS. And so this is completely automatic. Same thing with COLA. People ask me, when will COLA? COLA starts January. So you don't have to do anything on the COLA, the cost of living allowance. That's automatically calculated on everybody's the Social Security computer system goes in there and recalculates all 70 million or so people receiving Social Security benefits. And they also recalculate when you go into SSA.gov to check out your future estimates. That also includes a COLA as well. So that is 100% automatic. To make sure your high 35 years are correct, this is what I see a lot of people. This is why on my new mission in life, well, I've spent a few decades in Social Security Administration. Before that, Department of Social Services. Before that was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. So I always had a mission in life. And my new mission in life is to make sure you all get everything you're entitled to. And this is one thing I see a lot of people losing money on, is they're not going in there and checking their earnings record, going to SSA.gov, set up an account, and check your earnings record, because again, your benefits are determined by your high 35 years of earnings. And if something is incorrect, you're going to lose money for the rest of your life. Your spouse is going to lose money. Your surviving spouse, your children, whatever the case may be, are going to lose money for the rest of the life because your earnings records are incorrect. And this is, please pass this on to the young people in your life, because they need to go in there, tell them there's an additional step. Hey, did you do your taxes this year? Yeah, don't you love taxes? Did you do that final step? And they'll say, what final step? Go into Social Security and make sure your taxes made it to the Social Security Administration. It takes a few weeks after you do your taxes and everything like that. It'll go to the Social Security Administration and check to make sure it's in there, because what I see a lot is people 62, 65, they go in there and they say, hey, I'm missing a year. In 1981, I worked and it shows zero. Well, you should have checked around that time. There's still a way to fix it. I've talked about that many times. If you check your earnings record and it looks like you're missing something, make sure you subscribe. That way you can find me again amongst all of the craziness in YouTube. And then come on back and I'll teach you how to fix your earnings record if you're able to. And then military service. If you served in the military, Congress decided to give people that served in the military a little bit of bump. So anytime you file for your benefits, retirement benefits, make sure you tell them about your military service. Sometimes you have to show your DD-214. Sometimes the system automatically figures it out for you. If you're currently receiving benefits and you don't remember whether you told them about your military service, just call the 800 number and say, hey, was my military service calculated? It's not a whole heck of a lot, maybe $1, $2, $3 a month, but hey, it's your money, right? Here's where I see the biggest mistakes out there. People are losing hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars of back pay. Are you getting the correct benefits? So here's where I spend most of my time in these live Q&As, making sure people are getting the right program. Again, there's retirement benefits, early retirement, delayed retirement, full retirement. You've got spouse benefits, current spouse, divorced spouse, independently entitled divorced spouse. You got survivor benefits, that start at 60 years old. You can get survivor benefits that start at 50 years old if you're called with disabled widows benefits. I just did a video yesterday on the one that nobody knows about, parents benefits. So this is a live Q&A. This is live, right? It's basically if you are receiving benefits and you're supporting your parents, they can, and you pass away, the worker pass away, the parents can receive benefits because you were half support for them. And my office is taking, when I worked when I ran my office, we probably took millions of claims, and I think we had maybe one parent's benefit claim. I just think nobody knows about it. So you can collect survivor benefits. You can collect disability benefits. Here's one that a lot of people miss. You can collect disability benefits and continue to get your Medicare, because you get Medicare after 24 months of being on disability, and you can collect survivor benefits and spouse benefits at the same time, disability benefits and survivor benefits on top of that, and keep your Medicare. A lot of people are missing out. They say, I don't want to file for this. Sure, there's more money there, but I don't want to lose my Medicare, lose my disability. No, you're not going to lose it. It's just added on top of there. One is subtracted from the other, offsets the other, but you get more money. People think there's hundreds of these, but let me throw out the common. People think that, okay, I was divorced, I was married to someone for 10 years, but I heard they have to file for benefits before I can file for benefits on their record. 100% correct. Unfortunately, this is not only a myth that is going around the internet, but unfortunately, I'm telling people this, they're going to the Social Security Administration and they're saying, I want to file for benefits on my ex's record. And they said, no, that person has to file, which is 100% incorrect. So when the people come back to me, I send them the reference and say, hey, send this reference, take this reference down there and and they go down there and the person says, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. So unfortunately, Social Security is giving out incorrect information. So today is 6. I'm going to give you a bonus here, because this is the most important annual enrollment period we've seen since probably day one for 20 years. So the annual enrollment period for Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, not necessarily Medicare supplements, but if you want to switch, now's a good time. Or a Medicare Plan B, the prescription drug plan. It starts October 15th to December 7th, and close to 2 million people, this is unprecedented, close to 2 million people have had their Medicare Advantage plans, Part D plans canceled. And they received a letter, and I guarantee there's hundreds of thousands of people that didn't open that letter, won't open that letter, lost that letter, didn't get it in the mail, whatever the case may be, didn't understand the letter. And then starting January, they're going to go to the doctors, and the doctors are going to say, you owe us $4,000. And it's like, wait a second, I've got a Medicare plan. No, that was canceled December 31st. Didn't you read the letter? No. I guarantee there's probably someone around you. And there's a bunch of people who not only that were not only canceled, there's more people that the insurance companies, because the insurance companies are trying to make more profit. So that's why they're canceling people that they're not making enough profit on. And other people that they could make more profit on if they switch to a different plan, those plans are being downgraded, and you might be losing your doctors and all your benefits. And if you don't check, then you're going to lose out big time. So please, the most important thing on this channel is we're part of a community here. We help each other out. So make sure you reach out to those people around you and say, hey, how's your Medicare plan for next year? Did you get that letter of cancellation? Did you get that soft letter of cancellation? That's your plan. You're going to be losing your doctor and all that. So please. And I partnered up with an organization, Chapter Medicare, 100% free. Give them a call, and they can review your plan, see if your plan's been canceled, see if it's been downgraded, see if it's been switched, you've lost your doctor, you've lost your prescriptions, whatever the case may be. Reach out to them, give them a call. They will do a 100% review, free review of your plan. And if you're in the best one, if you're good, then you're good. But please share that number, and let's get, because you paid that money. That's your money into Medicare. You played for it for decades. All right. Number 5, you can suspend your benefits. I hear this all the time. People filed for early retirement, and they say, well, I guess I'm stuck now. I can't work. No, that's incorrect. If you're filing for early retirement and you get this job and it's going to make over the annual earnings limit, the $22,320, then you can suspend your benefits. You just call Social Security and say, hey, I'm going to make over, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and they'll hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. And people say, well, I'm going to lose those benefits. Well, not necessarily. How it works is this thing is called ARF, not ALF, if you're from the 80s. ARF, the adjusted reduction factor. Basically what it is, if you take your retirement benefits, let's say 30 months early, you're reduced by 30 months. But let's say after 10 months, you go back to work. So you only take 10 months of checks. The other 20 months you don't take because you're suspended. Once you hit your full retirement age, the Social Security computer system automatically looks at that and says, hey, Joe is reduced by 30 months, but he only took 10 months. So let's go ahead and correct it. So they unreduce it by 20 months. And from then on, for the rest of your life, you're only reduced by 10 months. That's 100% automatic. That happens when you hit your full retirement age. So if you want to go back to work, more power to you. My retirement lasted about a week, and here I am. There's another way to suspend your benefits, is called voluntary delayed retirement credits. Not many people know about this one. If you go to Social Security Administration and try to get this done, they will look at you like you're crazy and just come back here and I'll give you the reference to educate them. It's basically once you hit your full retirement age, you can actually suspend your benefits to get those delayed retirement credits. What's a delayed retirement credit? It's basically if you wait after your full retirement age, let's say you're 67 and you wait until you're 68 to receive benefits, you get 8% more added to your Social Security benefit, your full benefit amount. So if you wait 3 years, that's 24% added to your Social Security benefits. Not for everybody, some people want to go and get their benefits, whatever the case may be. But if you got great longevity in your family, great genes, great health, and all that kind of good stuff. And remember, delayed retirement credits go to surviving spouses. So you might be building up something for your surviving spouse. So if you pass, they get those delayed retirement credits. And the last one is don't waste money where you don't need to. If you're getting the $174.70 taken out of your check for Part B of Medicare, and you're currently working or your spouse is currently working, and one of the stipulations is that that employer plan has to have 20 or more employees, then you do not need Part B. I see too many people signing up for Part B because they hear it's mandatory. Yes, it's mandatory if you don't have health insurance from current work, yours or your spouse's. We're not talking the Affordable Care Act. We're not talking about COBRA or retirement plan. It has to be from current work, yours or your spouse's. So too many people are paying for their health insurance from work and paying for Part B because they thought it was mandatory. So put that $174 back into your pocket and give them a call and cancel it. And then once you stop working later, there's a couple of forms you have to fill out. Come back here. I'll teach you how to do it. I've done videos on that as well. And you restart your B, once you stop working 5 years, 10, 20 years from now, but you save all that money until then. All right. So I did that pretty good in 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and jump into your questions. Let's see. Okay. I'm confused on when to start Social Security. I was a stay-at-home mom for 35 years. My husband divorced me last year. I'm back to work and want to make the best decision to get Social Security. Should I start, all right, at 62 or wait as long as I can? It really depends right now. It sounds like you're back to work. So you're early. So under your full retirement age, you're limited. So this year is $22,320. Next year, the numbers for next year are $23,400. So for next year, January to December, $23,400. The numbers just came out. I just did a video going over all of the facts of the COLA and the annual earnings limit and all the rest of that stuff. If you're over that, Social Security holds back $1 for every $2 you go over. So, but if you're under that, yeah, you can go ahead and file for retirement benefits. You have to file for benefits on your own record. And then if your ex-spouse is benefited, as long as he is 62 and you've been divorced for 2 years, the divorce for 2 years is if he hasn't filed yet, then you have to be finally divorced for 2 years. If he's already filed, then that doesn't matter. But his benefit amount has to be twice your full benefit amount for you to collect benefits on his record. So those are the things you need to think about. And then you also need to think about, longevity. Do you want to take the reduced benefit for the rest of your life? Do you necessarily need the money right now? If you don't necessarily need the money right now and you want to continue to have it increase, then might be a good idea to wait. There's a bunch of different questions. Nobody can tell you when you should take it. There's all kinds of videos out there, and the internet says if you don't take it at 62, you're dumb. If you don't take it at 65, you're dumb. You don't take it at 70, you're dumb. The people that make all those videos are dumb. So there's that, because it's all basically there's a bunch of questions you ask yourself, and it's all based on your particular situation. Question: my children are on my SSDI. None of them are disabled, but they want to begin working here shortly. Will they or I lose any SSDI money? Nope. If you're receiving SSDI money, nope. They are receiving money because they're under the age of 18 or they're still in high school. So it doesn't really matter. No. It's their work, not yours. So if you go back to work, then obviously you're on SSDI. There's a bunch of limitations there. And I've done a few videos on working and receiving Social Security disability. But in terms of their work, no, they're good. Tell them to go get a job, cut grass, deliver newspapers. People deliver newspapers still? Anyway. All right. Nadine, thank you for your help. You're welcome. What do you recommend for dental for retired corporate Medicare recipient as an add-on for my mom? In my description, I've got a company that I use, Emeritus. I kind of like them. Easy to find a plan. They've got different options. So you can check out the link I've got in my description there. Megan, 134 watching home with 12 likes. Come on, people like. I was thinking about this. I'm thinking about contacting YouTube and saying, hey, your algorithm is all messed up. How come a like for a cat video is the same as a like for, a Megan and all of us, help people get money they're entitled to. And this is changing people's lives. Now they're able to pay their rent and stuff like that. So that person likes and comments on the video, and that's the same thing as liking and commenting on a cat video. There seems to be some societal impact, something in there that's a little bit different. I think a like and a thumb on, a share on ours that actually help people should be worth a million, likes on a cat video. So I might have to reach out to, yeah, YouTube and all these guys. And yeah, anyway, I was an active duty spouse who had to quit jobs, have up to 3 months before they get reestablished. The Social Security determined my income to be only $830. I made way more than X's for. What do I do? Okay, so active duty. So active duty spouse, pretty much you were in the military too, right? The Social Security determined my income to be only $830. Oh, okay, because it's based on your work. Okay, so what you mean is your benefit amount, Social Security monthly benefit amount for Social Security is determined to be $830. You earned way more than your exes, but again, it's over the high 35 years. So, for particular years, people always say, well, I earn more than my coworker and stuff, and how come his benefit amount was most? And I'm saying, so he's been your friend all your life? No, because it's over the high 35 years. It's not what your paycheck is versus his paycheck right now. It's based on your high 35 years. So that's probably it. I called and spoke with Milo at Charter yesterday. I've listened to Thomas. Wow, I got a great plan with a lot less out-of-pocket annually. Thank you for doing these videos. Awesome, awesome, good deal. Perfect. All right, it's good to hear. Yeah, I looked all over the country for a partner to help everybody out with their Medicare, and I think I hit the perfect one. So yes, all right, good deal. I've heard nothing but glowing remarks from reviews about this. So perfect, I like it. I'm also a veteran spouse. Yes, I have PTSD. If that is the case, is this the same person, Monica? Yeah, okay. So the 830, maybe that's an early retirement, so it's a reduced benefit amount. If you are currently suffering a disabling condition that prevents you from working, please file for disability benefits. I've done a few videos on how to file, but file for disability benefits, because once you get disability benefits, it's basically it's as though you didn't take early retirement. You get your full benefit amount. So please, if you're unable to work because of your disability, please file. Amy, how can I find documentation on rules for buying, selling, tithing a home for someone on SSI? Social Security website doesn't have a lot of info. So on rules for buying, selling on SSI, pretty much all the programs, SSI, Medicaid, I'm trying to figure out what you're asking here. They exempt one home, so it's not an issue. So one home and one car. So you could live in $1 million home and collect SSI if you don't have any other income or resources, because they figure you got to live somewhere and you got to have a vehicle to to travel. So yeah, that's exempt. If it's a second home, then you shouldn't be receiving SSI. Hopefully you mean SSI. People often mistake SSI as Social Security. SSI is Supplemental Security Income. It's the welfare-based program Social Security administers. But with SSI, the welfare-based program, they exempt one home and one car. Same as Medicaid in all the states. 65, still working, will be filing for Social Security at full retirement age, August 2026. Married 11 years to my ex. He died 28 years ago. File for surviving spouse benefits at my FRA. Can I be able to file for survivor benefits at my surviving spouse benefits at my FRA? All right. So if you can file for with surviving benefits, that's one of the ones you can choose one or the other. So I would definitely check out now, because you're entitled to surviving benefits right now. The survivor spouse benefits, you can start at 60 years old. So I would definitely check to see how much your survivor benefits are if you start now, and then how much your benefits on your own record, because that's one of the ones you can switch. You can start receiving survivor benefits now, Don't touch yours. Let yours increase all the way to your full retirement age. Add another 24% by waiting till your 70th birthday and get survivor benefits all during that time, and then switch over to your own if it's more, or vice versa, depending on how much the benefit amount is. So yeah, but if you're working, then you're limited, and you'll have to start making those choices at your full retirement age. If you're not, you can make those choices now. Why did my mother, who is retired, get an extra payment October for COLA for 115, but I'm paying my son and I didn't receive anything? Not sure. Yeah, there's not anything that, for a COLA for 115. Yeah, COLA doesn't go out in October. Um, Possibly because she worked last year and that's one of your high 35 years old of her earnings, and she filed her taxes late, and so that's why usually it doesn't happen October unless there's some type of she's getting help from the state in terms of her Part B, and there was some type of adjustment there. But yeah, for money like that, $115, it's not a normal number. So I would, yeah, find out what's going on. But it sounds like it's specific to her. Nobody else I've heard receive this. So yeah, it's just specific to her. Will my survivor benefits be lessened when I get disability, or should I do survivor benefits first before the disability promise finalized? No, you can do either one. Yeah. Yeah, if you go ahead and get your disability file for your disability, um, because it depends on your age. If you're way under 65, then I would definitely get disability. Start your disability application, because that, unfortunately, with the low staffing, it takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months. Start your disability claim, because if you're approved for that, even if it's less money, you get Medicare started early, because you get Medicare after being on disability for 2 years. So you collect survivor benefits, and and they say, well, why? Say for instance, you're going to get $1,500 from survivor benefits, and you say, okay, I want to go ahead and file for disability too. And they're saying, why do you file for disability? It's only $600 or $1,100, whatever the case may be, so I can get my Medicare quickly. And they say, oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, I'm I mean Social Security employee. If they're very good at their job, they will know exactly why. So can Social Security approve an SSDI application before even requesting for job history form or the function report? Yes, because you did all that. When you originally filed for your disability claim, they asked you your job history, and they just switched it. They just switched the regulation, the process. It used to have to go back 15 years, and I hated to do it when I took, the tens of thousands of disability claims. Where did you work 10, 15 years ago? That was always a nightmare, but now they shortened it. You only have to go back 5 years. But when you filed your initial application, you did all that then. So sometimes for whatever reason, they do it again, or more detail. They want more detail, whatever the case may be. Where can I get documentation on the rules? Okay, I already answered that one. If you go over the earnings, and are benefits always withheld, or is there always an option to write a check for the penalty amount? They're always withheld. But if you tell Social Security, then they're withheld. But I see what you're doing, William. Some people do this, and that's why Social Security, you hear Congress said, so, Social Security overpaid so many people, so many millions of people. Well, some people choose to get overpaid. So like William, he might choose to get overpaid. And so basically, say William, you only go like $4,000 over the annual earnings limit. So you can call Social Security and say, hey, I'm going to go over $4,000, and they can stop $1 for every $2, one or two or three checks, or whatever the case may be, depending on how much you're receiving. But maybe William says, you know what, forget it. I'll keep my check going, because I know if I call up Social Security and start it and stop it, it's a nightmare. It takes 3 hours to get in both times, and they might mess it up. And so, you know what? Forget about it. I'll just go over. And then next year, once I file my taxes, the IRS will notify the Social Security how am I made, and Social Security will say, "Hey, William, you're a bad." All right. Am I still here? Am I still alive? Let me see here. Let me go down to the Okay. I think we lost connection here. All right. So okay, let me back up a little bit. So William, if you just go ahead, just forget about it, and just say, I'll just go ahead and get the overpayment letter. So you just keep on working. Again, if you're going to make $100,000, then I would definitely stop. But if it's only going to be a few $1,000s over, they're going to hold back $1 for every $2 you go over. Once you file your taxes next year, IRS notifies Social Security. Social Security sends you a nasty gram that said, "Hey, you made too much money. You owe us $1,000, $1,500, whatever the case may be," and you can just go write them a check at that time. So a lot of people choose to have an overpayment, um, or you can set up a payment plan, zero interest loan, basically. So you didn't hear that from me. Um, Insider tip, trick, and strategy. Question is, I am in SSDI stage 3 and covered with my medical plan. Also, my husband, which next year becomes 65 and is disabled. How much time we have to cover him by Medicare? So basically, so he is not disabled. He's getting Medicare based on 65. So file 3 months before, the month during, and 3 months after. So you have 7 month period to go ahead and get him signed up. And because you've been receiving, well, okay, you're not receiving, you're still waiting for your disability to approve. So you're probably losing your health insurance from work too. And if you're 65, then you need to sign up for Medicare as well. If not, then you don't have to do anything, but he has to sign up. So he has to go ahead and get Part A, Part B, and then find a plan to cover all the gaps of Part A and Part B. Part D plan, Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage. Reach out to my partners at Chapter Medicare, and they can help you out and find what's available in your area. I was advised by a Social Security agent to file disability on the month I will receive my first retirement check. Is it to be that way? Yeah, it's called a rib dib. So if when you file for, let's say, early retirement, and you tell them, that you're also disabled, some people do that because the disability process takes anywhere from 6 to 9 months, and people can't wait that long without a check. So they go ahead and file for retirement benefits, early retirement, start getting a monthly check in while they're waiting for their disability to be approved. Absolutely. Yep. Does it done thousands of thousands of thousands of those. None call it. Okay, let's see here. If I remarried, can I get death benefits from my first husband? Yes, as long as you remarried after the age of 60 years old. Can a person collect SO and Medicaid at the same time? Not sure what SOSND is. If I have a SUP G, can I move to a different state and keep my G SUP without medical underwriting? Yes. Yep. Just you might have to reach out to your company and kind of just kind of notify them of the move, and they might re-rate you. But that's also an opportunity to maybe change and find a cheaper G plan. So call my guys at I think they're actually open today because of we're in this once in a lifetime crazy Medicare season. So I think they're even there today on Sunday. So give them a call and say, hey, I'm going to be moving here pretty soon. Is this an opportunity to save myself some money? You definitely 100% need to change your Part D plan, your prescription drug plan. That's 100% guaranteed. You need to switch that one. Can you please pen that reference? Which one? A few references today. Was married for 10 years, been divorced for 5 years, but because I received SSDI, I'm blind and my kids are receiving this off me. Can I still go and file on his record? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can receive disability benefits and survivor benefits and all the rest of it. And it's surprising. Can I still? Okay. Is he still alive or if he's deceased, the children should also possibly be received. If those are his children, that they should be receiving benefits on his record as well. If he's not receiving benefits, then it's not an issue. I assume if everything was done right, then he is not receiving Social Security benefits. So you would be filing for an independently entitled divorced spouse claim because if he was receiving Social Security benefits, then your children would be receiving benefits on his record possibly. And I can give you the reference on that one. That way, if you go, maybe the other person was talking about that one, the independently entitled divorced spouse benefit. Here is, let me go ahead and put it in the chats, IEDS it's called. So that is right there, that's the reference. Now I have to go back all the way to the top here and find out. Okay, there we go. All right. Diamond Jim, I'm retiring at the end of January 2025. I will be 62. My current wife for 30 years was 67. This past March, she filed on her record at 62. Yeah, so once you file, y'all can file possibly on each other's records, whichever one is the highest. Remember, you have to be 62 the entire month. So if you turn 62, January, any other day than January 1st, then your benefits will, you start your benefits in February, you get your first check in March. But if your benefits are twice your wife's or your wife's is twice yours, then when you file, hand the phone over to the other person so they can get some more money, or vice versa, if you're going to be the one that gets the spouse benefits. I am on SSDI without losing my benefits. Is there any way to work part-time without ticket to work? I have 3 friends lose their benefits. Yeah, absolutely. I've done a few videos. Let me pop up the one. Let me take off the little chat here. This is a one-man operation. So some of these people out here that don't really have any experience, they're great at YouTube. They've got a whole team helping them out and stuff. But this is pretty much me and my son. So, all right. So this is the top one, the top one, the top one. Okay, wherever. The top one is SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. So it gets into all the gory details about working and receiving SSDI. The bottom one is SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Working on that. There are different kind of criteria for working and receiving benefits. So make sure you check those out. And if you got any specific question, come on back. Jeffrey, what's up, Jeffrey? I checked out that video you sent me, and yeah, I might have to do a reaction on that one. So thanks for sending that to me. If a person signed up October, I think she said the 7th, is she in jeopardy of not having made a choice post-December? It's really hard trying to help people with this info. Yes. If someone signed up on October 7th, they did not sign up for the 2025 plans. They signed up for the 2024 plan. But if the person that helped her did the right thing, they also looked at the 2025 plan and took that into consideration and said, okay, for 2024, 2025, this is the best plan. And they went ahead and signed her up for that one. And that one will just automatically roll over to 2025. So if they did the right thing, then she's good. If they looked at both. But if she signed up on the 7th, again, that's a 2024. But if for 2025, there's a better plan, then she needs to switch. And she can only switch after October 15th. So not sure who helped her out. So if it wasn't my guys at Chapter, then yeah, I don't know. How do I find out if I'm CPIW or CPIE? Everybody is CPIW. Everybody. Unfortunately, that's what we need to reach out to our politicians and tell them to switch it. And this is what I'm going to do. Every time I tell you to reach out to your politician, reach out to your politician for whatever I say, please, to help you out. And then number 2 is to ask them what they are doing to improve customer service in their local office, in their particular state and their jurisdiction. Say, what are you doing to improve customer service? The staffing there is terrible. Takes 3 hours to get in there. There's a 4-hour wait in the morning. What are you doing to improve customer service in your office? So please. Sue, I am a British, receiving a British pension, lived in the US for 30 years, now drawing Social Security, and they are deducting British pension off total of Social Security. Is this correct? Yeah, that's called the windfall elimination provision. If you lived in the US for 30, if you worked in the US for 30 substantial years, then you shouldn't be subject to the windfall elimination provision, or 29 years or 28 years of substantial earnings. But if you didn't have those substantial earnings, then yes, the windfall elimination provision, unfortunately, people that it's people in the United States that did not pay into Social Security. There's some, Chicago teachers and Texas teachers and LA firefighters and cops and stuff like that. So yeah, that's also the windfall elimination provision. I get $1,454 per month on SSDI, never married, no children. I am barely making anything I have overlooked, very scared of ticket to work. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you hear people about, working and stuff like that, but that's if they're, making substantial work, over $1,550 a month. I did another, let me pop up the other video I did. This bottom one, how to live on Social Security alone. I outline pretty quickly, 17 minutes. I go through an entire list of about 50 different programs that might help you out. So make sure you watch that video, how to live on Social Security alone. I did a 4-part series on it, giving more and more detail. People always complain that the introduction is too long, which I 100% agree with. I told you, I'm an amateur at YouTube. I'm gonna have to come up with some cat videos one day. One thing, $1,454. Remember, check. Okay, you never married. Okay, so that's not an issue. But in your state, you might be able to get Medicaid. So if you're able to get Medicaid and you have Medicare and you're paying, the $174 for Medicare, the state may be able to pay for that. It's called the Medicare Savings Program. So reach out to your state social services, Department of Welfare, whatever they call it in your state, apply for Medicaid and tell them to please pay for your Part B premium. And that'll put an extra $174 in your pocket. In most states, if you're receiving $1,454, you're probably eligible. So let's see. Karen filed SSDI February, now 65, 100 records, 14 special Y physical plus psych, CE appointment schedule. Yeah, consultative exam has been scheduled for you, and there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes they just want a Social Security doctor to look at whatever. So yeah, make sure you keep that appointment, because if you don't keep the appointment, then they will deny your claim. So don't try to understand how the sausage is made. Just, go with the flow. When the yearly income is added to your account, after you do your taxes. So usually it takes a few weeks after you do your taxes, and then the IRS notifies Social Security, and then Social Security updates the record. So a few weeks after you file your taxes. Am I locked into the lower benefit if I have Social Security claim that I filed at 62, but it was suspended because I'm working? I want to wait till I'm 67 and collect on ex-spouse benefits. Well, you have to collect benefits on your own record first, so those have to be started, and then you can collect on your ex-spouse benefits right now. But if you're suspended, yeah, it'll be the adjusted reduction factor. So if you started at 62 and you've only receiving $1,000, but at your full retirement age it's $1,700. So right now, if you started your benefits, it'll be $1,000. But once you hit your full retirement age, the computer system will automatically recalculate, do that ARF calculation, and you'll be moved up to $1,700. If you never took any benefits. Thank you so much for letting me know that. You're welcome. Thanks for sharing. Okay. I am on SSDI and my wife is still working. Can I get more in my paycheck for the coming years? Your wife's work, no relevance whatsoever. You'll get the COLA increase. You'll get, if you're working, you'll get that increase. My husband began receiving his Social Security in April 2024. Works part-time as a 1099. Does the IRS wait till end of the year to determine when to withhold a monthly check if he makes over the cap? So it's not the IRS, and because he's a 1099, he has to file those benefits himself. A lot of people that do 1099 don't realize you have to pay both parts of the FICA tax. So, both parts, 12+%. So he has to pay all that FICA tax, and then because he's a 1099, it's net income. So if he made $50,000, but then you have $40,000 of expenses, then obviously he's not over the annual earnings limit. But in terms of the monthly cap, yeah, once you do the first year you file, instead of doing the annual, you can do a monthly. And as long as this year you stay under $1,860, you can start your Social Security benefits. And how do they determine that? Is that you tell them that you promised to stay under the $1,860. It's now October in the fall when SSA does the annual earnings review for your prior year's earnings. If your benefit is adjusted upwards, when will one see the increase in their check? Yeah, if you pay late, if you did your taxes way late, it might happen October, but it usually happens, March, April, May, June, um, when most people do it. So what happens is, let's say you file your taxes in April 15th, you wait till the very last, so IRS gets it, sends it to the Social Security. Let's say Social Security gets the numbers in June, the computer system automatically goes in there, recalculates and says, hey, Pharaoh gets $10 more per month. And then they will give you back dated all the way till January. So they give you January $10, February $10, March $10, and all that. So you'll get one big check. That's why when someone is asking, they got $115, it didn't make sense, because it's, unless that person filed their taxes way late. Usually people get it in the first few months of the year after they, again, you have to file your taxes. I am 60 disabled. Can I take college classes for free on SSDI? Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I'm a university professor right now still. I actually, after I finish here, I have to go grade midterm exams. And I always tell people that's one of the programs I put in the living on Social Security alone is, if you, want to, go out there and do something, check out your local community college or university and a class you like, go knock on the professor's door and say, hey, I'm really interested in your class. Can I just kind of hang out in the back? I used to have friends and stuff come to my class all the time, retired people. And hey, Dr. Disney, come hang out in my class all the time. So Dr. Disney was one of the guys that always hung out in my class. I retired on my Social Security at 63. Disney was his last name. Yeah. Anyway, I retired on my Social Security at 63 to take care of my 67 now and applying for widow's benefits. What should I look for? To take care of my 60 now and applying for widow's benefits. Yeah. Perfect. So yeah, if, go ahead and just apply for widow's benefits. Checked to see if those are higher benefits. I would compare the two, because, okay, you're 67 now. I try. Okay, you retired at 63, but you're 67 now. Okay, so you're full retirement age, so your widow's benefits won't increase anymore. Here's an option. You can switch to your widow's benefits. Here's an option almost nobody does because they don't know. And Social Security employees don't tell people this for whatever reason. You can stop your benefits on your own record and get those voluntary delayed retirement credits and switch over to your widow's benefits and continue to get those widow's benefits. And then maybe, I don't know, it depends on the numbers. At 70, your benefits might be more than your widow's benefits. And then you switch back to your own. And if the numbers work, that's an option almost nobody takes because, again, they don't know about it. And Social Security employees don't know about it. And I am going to put the reference in the bottom, VDRCs, voluntary delayed retirement credit. So if you're thinking about doing that, you'll need that reference to go down to the local Social Security office when you start talking to them, because if you tell them that about voluntary getting delayed retirement credits, they'll look at you like you're crazy because, it's unfortunate. So there's the reference. All right, let's see here. Now, when I put in a reference thing, I always go down to the bottom of the chat and I have to go back and figure out where I am. So I apologize here. Okay, I think I didn't miss any, but my husband is 67. He had a heart attack and open heart surgery. He's getting Social Security. I was told he's past the age for disability. Is that true? Yes. Once you hit your full retirement age, nobody in the country is receiving disability. Once you hit the full retirement age, your disability benefits automatically switch to retirement benefits. So nobody in the country is receiving disability after their full retirement age. And people are always saying, oh, yeah, I've been receiving disability for 20 years. No, when you hit your full retirement age, they switch it from disability benefits to regular retirement benefits. So, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that. and they think they're still getting disability and therefore they still have limitations on their work. No, once you hit your full retirement age, you're no longer on disability. You're on regular retirement. And because you're on regular retirement after your full retirement age, you can make $1 billion a month and Social Security doesn't care. So a lot of people out there can actually go out there and work, but they're scared because it's going to stop their check. It's not after your full retirement. Why is it okay to be required to pay back dollars upon unretiring in under 1 year? Because when you unretire, you withdraw your application like it never happened. And if it never happened, you never got that money. So pay it back. After reaching full retirement age, Social Security benefits rise by 8%. Is that applied on an annual or monthly basis? Do you have to wait until the next year to get the annual increase? Nope. You can do it on a monthly basis. It's 8% over the year, and then it's whatever 8% divided by 12 is. But if you do that, the Social Security system has a little difficulty calculating those last final months when you do partial like that. So sometimes there's a delay in the last, if you wait 2 years and 3 months, the 2 years of 8% will hit your check fast, no problem. It's the extra 2 or 3 months that the system has a difficulty. So we won't probably receive that extra 2 or 3 months until the following January. So that's, yeah, insider information you probably didn't want to know. My husband denied on Plan N heart surgery 6 years to fix right valves. Did not. My husband denied on Plan N heart surgery 6 years. So what do you mean? He wanted a Medicare supplement Plan N, but didn't pass underwriting because of health. Yeah, then I mean, if you can't get a Plan N or a Plan G because of health underwriting, and there's no other special enrollment period, then yeah, unfortunately. So if there might be other options, there might be other companies that don't look back 6 years. Some of them look only back 3 years. So call my guys at the chapter there, and they'll see if there's another plan in your area that only has a 3-year look back. I'm on SSDI now for 12 years. Can I collect more when my husband hit retirement age? We were married for more than 10 years. He is 59 now. Yeah, absolutely. If his benefit amount is over twice years, and as soon as he hits 62 years old, you can absolutely file for benefits on his record. What is the difference between SSI and SSDI? SSI is the welfare-based program, supplemental security income. SSDI is Social Security disability insurance, which you pay into FICA and stuff like that. You can have both. You can have both. So that's what a lot of people miss, is they miss parts of the puzzle. You can have SSDI and SSI and Medicare and Medicaid, and your Medicaid pays for your Part B premium, and you can have the extra help with prescription drug plans, and then you can have a Medicare Advantage, the dual eligible plan that gives you the extra grocery card. So that's what people is like, oh, I've got everything I need, I'm good. And it's like, well, okay, you've got 6 parts of the 7 parts of the puzzle, but you're missing a piece. And it's all way too confusing. And if it wasn't so confusing, you would have never seen me, because I would have been in a retirement. And but here I am. To any all fellow veterans in the chat getting this valuable information for free, please hit the like button. Yes, yes. And let me give a secret to veterans out there. I've seen Tony Bennett and Jewel and U2 and George Strait and so many concerts. It's called vettix.org, vettix.org. I think it's a .org. But yeah, you go in there and you confirm that you're a vet, and you put in what state you're in, what city you're in, and it gives you all of the things you can go see. Yeah, I've seen so many concerts, and Jimmy Buffett and James Taylor and Cirque du Soleil shows, and yeah, for free, or $5 and stuff. So vettix.org. And if you know a vet, tell them to register for the site so they can take you, right? So yes. All right. Is there a dollar limit on gap and excess charges? If a surgeon charges $30,000, Medicare approves it, will owe 30. Yeah, it's 15%. So so it's 15% above what Medicare charges. So it's not necessarily a limit. The limit is a percentage limit. And this is another reason I chose to partner with Chapter, is they have a customer success team, which a lot of places don't, that for questions like that, for issues like that, for billing and coding and all this kind of crazy stuff. They have a team that's there year round that can help you with stuff like that. So that's another reason I've, yeah, partnered with them. I think I made the right choice. I currently get part of ex-husband's military retirement. I'm 60, looking at my options for when to retire. Did this amount affect my Social Security amount? Nope, not at all. Zero effect. Okay, I froze for a minute. Okay, good. Okay, all right. So let me, oh, now I got to plug in here. So I told you it's a one-man operation. Let's see. How will my current Social Security benefits be affected if my spouse dies? If my spouse dies, my early benefit taken at 64 was based on the fact that his earnings were higher. Then, if you're currently receiving spouse benefits and your spouse passes away, you don't have to do anything. Everything is automatic. It's called auto convert. You're automatically converted from regular spouse benefits, the up to 50% thing, to spouse benefit, surviving spouse benefits. And then, it depends on your age. If you're your full retirement age at that time, you get 100% of, whatever basically his benefit was. And that's automatic. And the only kind of speed bump there is that $255 lump sum death payment. If your addresses are exactly the same, it'll also kick out that $255 lump sum death benefit. But sometimes if your addresses are even a little bit off, it's the apartment and they've got a little space in the apartment, and for some reason the computer doesn't pick that up and doesn't pay it out. So you have to actually go in there and get that extra $255. So press like, thumbs up, you guys. Yes, we got to teach these algorithms that this is important information that people need out there. Can you receive ESRD Social Security benefits and still work? Yes, it's basically kind of a disability type thing. Absolutely. How long can you collect death benefits? Until you die, basically. Grandson was adopted by me at 17, and foster people were collecting Social Security money from his mom who passed. So yeah, if you adopted, if you're a grandparent that adopted a child, then if you're receiving benefits, then the child is now able to collect benefits on your record if they're under the age of 18 or still in high school or became disabled before the age of 22. Can I collect my deceased husband's Social Security after remarrying? Yes, if you remarried after 60 years old. Let's see. What's the best age to get max Social Security? Is it full retirement age? Yes, that is. To get the max is full retirement age. To get max plus is any time after that, all the way up to the month you turn 70 years old. In 5 months, I will be 62. How early can I file? My disability court is at the end of the month. Oh, okay. So you're waiting for your disability, the appeals or the federal court. Yeah, a couple, 3 months before you turn 62, go ahead and file for your benefits. Let's see here. They removed my, I'm not going to mention the name. I always avoid, what do I do? Okay. So yeah, here's someone that lost TikTok Henry. They were canceled from their plan. There's millions of people that have been canceled this year, and millions of more that what I call soft canceled. So yeah, if you got to find something. If you don't, then you're going to be out of luck in January. You're not going to have anything. You're going to have to pay all the gaps of A and B, and that's going to be crazy expensive. So you have to find something. So this is on TikTok here. So go to my front page, click on the little link tree thing, and it'll give you the number to Chapter Medicare, my partner, and they will find a plan for you that will start January 1st. What is the current WEP GEPO status? It's still law. Let's see. Is it true that the first bin point will get 90% instead of 90%? It's 90% right now. So the first bin point is 90%. Not sure if they're going to change it in the future. Let's see. Greg, are Advantage plans worth taking? Yeah, I mean, I make no secret. I like Medicare supplement plans because you don't have the prior authorizations and networks and everything. But some people just can't afford it budget wise. So Medicare Advantage is way, way better than only having Medicare alone, Medicare Part A and Part B alone. So, but the problem with Medicare plans, it just takes a little bit more effort on your part to check your plans every year to make sure your health insurance company does the right thing. And that's why I recommend, having professionals in your court to help you, a customer care team. If I qualify for QMB, do I still need a supplement plan? No. If you have QMB, which is Medicaid, one of the highest levels of qualified Medicare beneficiary, um, then no, you do not need a Medicare supplement plan. It's probably a good idea, I would argue, to get a Medicare Advantage plan in that particular case. If you have Medicaid and Medicare, in that case, I don't recommend a Medicare supplement because that's going to cost you money and that's going to be useless. A Medicare Advantage dual eligible plan is the plan for you because it covers a whole bunch more and it gives you a lot more benefits. Again, depending on your particular area, it might give you a good grocery card, get you some extra money, some extra dental, and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, 100%. I highly recommend you at least evaluate what plans are available in your area. So, call my people there and they'll see what's available in your area. And if you like what options they give you, go for it. I'm currently getting survivor benefits from my ex. I'm 71 now. I'm getting 1,800 a month. I gonna get more or less? If you're getting survivor benefits, one thing I would do is, since you're 71 now, your benefits on your own record max out when you turn 70. So, what Social Security is supposed to do, they're supposed to send those people a letter, but sometimes they drop the ball or mail doesn't get there or whatever the case may be. And it's called WIB-RIB, Widows Insurance Benefits to Retirement Insurance Benefits. It's a letter saying, hey, you're getting widow's benefits, but we just want to let you know that you just turned 70, you got that extra 24%, and now your benefit is higher than your widow's benefit. So come on in and get you some money. So if you didn't receive that letter, call Social Security and say, hey, is the benefit on my record more? And if not, you're doing good. All right, we are over time, and unfortunately, I didn't get to all the questions here. I'm still trying to figure out how to integrate TikTok in with my YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff. But TikTok is kind of strange, so I apologize for the TikTokers out there that I'm not answering all their questions. Come on over to YouTube and play with the big boys, I guess. So TikTok's probably going to cancel me now. But anyway, all right. That'll be it for tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow. And if I didn't get your questions, please jump in first thing, ask the questions that I want.